makikinig ng salita ng ating Panginoon. Awitin po natin, Sweep Over My Soul. Proverbs 17. Proverbs 17, verse 17. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. May the Lord bless His word. You may have your seats. So we started talking from the book of Proverbs about human relationships, and we'll continue. We have discussed relationship between husband and wife and parents to children, and now we'll talk about another relationship, and may the Lord lead us as we study His Word. And I myself, as I study the book of Proverbs and digest the meaning of each proverb, maging ako ay natututo. And we're learning a lot from this. And in the book of Genesis na ang Diyos ay lumikha. You would see in the day of his day, during the days of creation, after he said let there be, then the thing would come to pass, and he would approve of his creation. At sabihin niya, it is good. It is good. And when everything is finished, he said, it is very good. Nakalam natin that when he formed man out of the dust of the ground, ay nilagay niya siya dun sa garden. It was a beautiful garden. Kahit mismo ang Diyos ang nag-design ng garden na yun. I could see it's a multicolored garden. You have diverse kinds of flowers and different fruit-bearing trees. And the Lord God put Adam in the paradise. So napakaganda ng kanyang tahanan with all the different trees and with all the animals in the garden that he could have fellowship with. Siya pang inutusan ng Panginoon na magpangalan sa mga hayop. Pero sabi ng Panginoon that it is not good for a man to be alone. So bagamat napakaganda yung creation at si Adam nandun siya sa paradise. It's a perfect place with a perfect atmosphere. Kumbaga yung carpet ng bahay niya, grass. Ganda ng kanyang tanawin. With all that, malungkot pa rin si Adam. With all what he possessed, with all the things that the Lord has given him. And the Lord saw that loneliness and aloneness in Adam, at sabi ng Panginoon, it is not good for a man to be alone. You know why? Because God has created human being to be relational. We need relationship. Tama ba? So, si Adam, he was seeking relationship dun sa kauri niya. Bagaman napakaraming mga hayop doon na pwede niyang kausapin. Kausapin ng mga hayop, di ba? O makipaglaro sa leon o tigre. But with all that, meron pa rin loneliness kay Adam, at sabi ng Panginoon, it is not good for a man to be alone. So one way to make our life happy and satisfying is to build a good relationship. First, of course, to God and to people. So relationship is very important because it makes our life satisfying. Kahit nasa iyo na lahat ng mga bagay, if you don't have good relationship with others, you don't live a happy life. So, tonight we'll be speaking about a relationship of friendship, and we'll be speaking on this. And titingnan natin yung mga binanggit ni King Solomon concerning this kind of relationship. Now, the very best investment you will ever make in life will not be a financial one, but rather the investment made in relationships. Now, we will get the best return on that investment over any other investment that we will ever make. And as we go through life, there are two kinds of things we can give our lives to. Alam nyo, some people, they try to accumulate possessions as much as they can. They are constantly trying to get more or better stuff. Now, if we spend all our lives trying to accumulate more and more possession, we will never truly be happy and fulfilled. On the other hand, we can decide to focus on building relationships, trying to make friends and to befriend. Now, a person, kahit anong yaman niya, there's one thing that you would realize at the end of his life. Kapag siya nakaratay na sa kama, one thing he would really realize is that the things that would surround him in his dying bed are not his achievements, but those people whom he had relationship with. Yung kanyang mga pamilya nandoon, ang kanyang mga kaibigan, mga anak, asawa. Sila yung mga tao na nandoon in his dying bed. Hindi yan maghahanap na sabihin niya, okay, ilabas niyo yung aking mga trophies, i-display niyo dito, titingnan ko sila habang ako'y namamatay. Ilabas niyo yung aking mga diplomas, ilagay nila, i-plaster niyo lahat sa wall para makita ko. Or sabihin niya, ilabas niyo lahat ng backbook ko. Ilagay niyo para makikita ko yung figures, yung mga pinagpagalan ko. No, it's not. Okay? The people that you want to be with, kapag hindi mo mamatay na, are the people whom you love. The people na kung saan meron kang relationship sa kanila. And that's the value of it. So even you strive to gain more and more possession, your life is still not satisfying unless you have good relationship with others. Because God made human as beings that are relational. And that is one of we need relationships and a good one. So we'll talk more about this. Now, what is the basis for friendship? Ang sabi sa Proverbs 17:17, a friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. So Proverbs makes it clear that true friendship is based on love. And I think all relationships should be on that basis. It must be based on love. Because only love will endure the test that friends experience as they go through life together. Now, it's possible to have many companions and no real friends. Yung friends sa tinutukoy ko dito, it's a true friend, a faithful friend. Marahil pag chinip yung Facebook nyo, bilangin yung friends nyo. Ako umabot na ng 1,000. But more of them are acquaintances, right? They're not really friends. Hindi ibig sabihin na marami kang friends dahil ang dahil mo lang kinad. Kung minsan may mga nagpapaad sa atin, hindi natin masyadong kilala, di ba? Or kilala lang ng kilala natin, hindi pa ng kaibigan natin. So, true friends are really hard to find nowadays. Now, let's take the friendship of Jonathan and David, because this is one a great example in the Bible concerning friendship. In 1 Samuel 18:1-3, it says here, and it came to pass, when he had made an end of speaking unto Saul, that's David speaking to Saul, that the soul of Jonathan was knit with the soul of David, and Jonathan loved him as his own soul. Now look how this friendship develops, and what's the basis of this relationship. You would see it's about love. Ang sabi dito, Jonathan loved him as his own soul. And this is the kind of relationship that lasts, that would overcome the test of time. At sabi sa verse 3, then Jonathan and David made a covenant. It's a friendship covenant, because he loved him as his own soul. So we see here that love was the basis for the friendship of David and Jonathan. And the Bible pictures David and Jonathan as making a conscious commitment to each other, a solemn compact or a covenant. Why? Because true friendship is built on commitment, not convenience. There must be a commitment. Because some people, they would make friends with you for convenience sake. Oh, I need this person. Meron akong kailangan sa taong ito, so I would make friend with this person. But friendship is not consumer relationship. We make friends hindi dahil meron kang kailangan sa kanila, so after you get it, so that you don't value your friendship anymore. It's not like that. Well, because true friendship must be based on love. And apart from God's love and forgiveness, Jonathan's friendship was the most precious gift David was ever given, because the gift was followed by faithfulness, unselfishness, and sacrifice. At sa kanilang kwento, though Jonathan was the prince next to the throne, he was willing to give up his rights to the throne to his friend David. You could see that friendship is something sacrificial. Because one thing that will destroy relationship is selfishness. Once a relationship is self-centered already, those around you, okay, it won't work out, or relationship will be destroyed. Now, look at this verse. Ito yung pagkatapos namatay si Jonathan in the battle. And look at how David described his relationship with this person. At dito nananangis si David because of the death of Jonathan. Ang sabi 2 Samuel 1 verse 26, sabi niya, I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan. Very pleasant hast thou been unto me. Thy love to me was wonderful, passing the love of women. Could you imagine how David described the love of Jonathan towards him? Ang sabi niya, your love to me is wonderful, passing the love of women. Dinaig niya pa yung pag-ibig ng babae sa lalaki. Now, so the friendship between Jonathan and David is one of the most noble relationships in the Bible. The lament of David after the death of Jonathan reveals the kind of bond between them. Now, later, David will remember his covenant with Jonathan by showing great kindness to Jonathan's crippled son, Mephibosheth. Makikita natin na sa 2 Samuel chapter 9. Maybe we could read a portion of that. 2 Samuel chapter 9. Verse 1. And David said, is there yet any that is left of the house of Saul, that I may show him kindness for Jonathan's sake? What was this? This is David, who had a great friendship with Jonathan. At naghahanap siya ng descendant ni Jonathan, na siyang anak ni Saul, to show kindness to his friend Jonathan. Patay na si Jonathan at this time. Now, if we would jump at verse 6, okay, nang hinanap nila, sabi na mayroong anak si Jonathan, at siya'y lumpo at hinirap sa kanya dito sa verse 6. And now, when Mephibosheth, the son of Jonathan, the son of Saul, was come unto David, he fell on his face and did reverence. And David said to Mephibosheth, and he answered, behold thy servant. And David said unto him, fear not, for I will surely show thee kindness for Jonathan thy father's sake, and will restore thee all the land of Saul thy father, that's the grandfather, okay, and thou shalt eat bread at my table continually. What was this? This was David showing kindness to the son of Jonathan, because he could never forget that bond of friendship they had together. At yung act of kindness was extended sa family ni Jonathan. At could you imagine lahat ng nawala sa kanila, sa Saul's family, ay ibibigay kay Mephibosheth? And Mephibosheth would eat at the king's table. Kaya if you would read here, dito sa verse 11, then said Ziba unto the king, according to all that my lord the king hath commanded his servant, so shall thy servant do. As for Mephibosheth, said the king, he shall eat at my table as one of the king's son. So anong trato niya dito sa anak ni Jonathan? Tinrato niya na isa niya sa kanyang mga anak. Touching that? So do you see how the act of kindness was extended to the loved ones of Jonathan? Hinanap ni David kung meron pang mahal sa buhay si Jonathan. Na-extend. Why? Because of that friendship. Alam niyo ba na sa Bible that Abraham was called the friend of God? And because Abraham was the friend of God, you know that God's mercy was extended to Lot because of Abraham. Hindi ba sabi sa Bible that God remembered Abraham and delivered Lot when he overthrew the cities? Bakit naalala ng Panginoon si Abraham? Abraham is his friend. And because of that, yung nephew niya, this is a nephew, no? Kanina, anak. Yung nephew niya, the Lord delivered. Kaya it's very important that we have friendship with God. That's what friendship is all about. Nang ibig sabihin niya, if we have friendship with God, the act of kindness of God is even extended to the people we love. Kaya no wonder why, nang si Brother Branham, he went beyond the curtain of time. At nakita niya yung aso niya doon, yung asawa niya, yung aso niya, yung kabayo niya. He heard a voice. At sabi ng voice, all that you ever love and all that love you are gathered in this place. How God extended His grace and act of kindness because of His friendship with the prophet of this age. Do you see that? So that's what friendship is all about. Ano? Nag-ibig sabihin, hindi lang ikaw nakikinabang with that relationship that you have built for years. Because we don't, friendship is not done overnight. That's why when you build friendship, you must have time together. You should have time to spend together to talk to one another because you are building a relationship. So, this is the kind of friendship David had with Jonathan. At nang dinescribe niya ang pag-ibig ng kanyang kaibigan na ito, sabi niya, it's wonderful passing the love of women. Alam niyo si Jonathan is his brother-in-law. Pagkataon natin si Michal, anak ni Saul, na kanyang sister, Jonathan ay napangasawa ni David. Okay. At first, mahal ni Michal si David, di ba? Marahil siguro sa achievement ni David, pagka talagang ang yung husay niya, he is a gallant man and things like that. But at the end, she despised David. But look at the kind of love Jonathan has over David. It's a kind of love that passing the love of women. Now let's move on. So, friendship should be based on love. So let's talk about wrong basis for friendship. Now, friendship could be based on money. And this is a wrong basis of friendship. Ang sabi sa Proverbs 14 verse 20, the poor is hated even of his own neighbor, but the rich have many friends. The rich have many friends. So, poor is little regarded in our society. They are despised in our society. Magiging neighbor, sabi ko, the poor is hated even of his own neighbor. His neighbor does not care to take notice of him or be friendly with him lest he should be burdensome to him. Inisip niya, mahirap na tao ito. Kung kakaibigan ko ito, baka kung nangailangan niya, ako laging lapitan niya. So, pati yung neighbor niya, ayaw. Okay? Pero sabi ito, but the rich have many friends. So many are lover of the rich. And you know the reason. You know why, diba? Because they gain something from them. Meron sila makukuha. It's a consumer relationship, ano? So they are a fair weather friend dahil meron sila makukuha. So they will be with this person as long as they can get something. So it's a one-directional relationship. Now, Proverbs 19 verse 4, wealth maketh many friends. Madaling makipagkaibigan, madaling makakuha ng kaibigan kung ikay mayaman. Now, this is the observation of Solomon. Sabi niya, wealth maketh many friends, but the poor is separated from his neighbor. So wealth can increase your number of friends. Wealthy people seem to have a lot of friends. Ang kanyang bahay, laging maraming guests. Basta yung kanyang fridge, punong-puno yan ng pagkain. Pagkatapos, mayroong mga entertainment na ipoprovide, music, at libre ang kain. Turo sila sa ibang lugar, sagot ng mayaman, aba. The friends would have many friends. But when they found out you're a poor boy, they don't want you around. Hindi ka napapansinin. They will despise you. Kaya nga may mga social experiment, di ba? Isang tao magsusuot ng damit pulubi, pero mayaman siya. Na kunwari homeless siya. Pagkatapos dadaan siya sa busy street, yung mga restaurant na magagara doon, may mga tao na nasa labas, pinipresent yung kanilang menu. Pero hindi siya papansin, di ba? Uupo nga siya, ayaw nila, hindi. Huwag ka nang kumain dito. Alam, walang pera, baka uminom lang ng tubig. So they despise the poor. Pero kakaiba kay Christ, He makes friends with the poor. People despise the poor. So, kahit sa mga social experiment, makikita niyo yan, And the worst thing, it happens in the Church of God. Basahin niyo ang James chapter 2. You could see the rebuke of James to the people. Ang sabi niya, kapag may pumasok na mayaman sa assembly, mayroong golden ring, magara ang suot, papaupo niyo siya sa magandang lugar. Pero kapag pumasok isang mahirap with a vile garment, sasabihin niyo, sige, tumayo ka na lang doon, umupo ka sa ako. At sabi ni James, God is not a respecter of person. Hindi niyo ba alam, ang mga mayayaman, ayan ang mga nag-o-oppress sa mga tao. Sabi ni James, nirebuke sila. Ayan yung mga nagdadala sa inyo sa mga judgment seat. At sabi niya, if you do like that, you are sinning. Why? Bagkat you are giving another treatment, bagkat dahil siya'y mayaman, pero sa mahirap, you despise. Kaya nga si Jesus Christ, nang siya'y nagkatawang tao, He was not identified with the rich, He identified Himself with the poor. Ang mga kaibigan niya, yung mga mahihirap, yung mga desperado sa buhay, di ba? So, wealth maketh many friends, but these are not real friends and faithful friends. Now, Proverbs 19:6-7. Many will entreat the favor of the prince. Sino may ayaw ng favor ng isang ruler, di ba? So many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. Di ba? Kung ikay palabigay sa mga tao ng regalo, marami kang kaibigan. Even mga unbeliever gamitin yung ganito, it would be effective with that. Diba? Pagka tayo nagsabi, this is the observation ni Solomon. Okay? Every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. Taong yan. Magandang kaibigan yan. Bigay ng bigay yan. Ay, gusto ko na maging kaibigan yan. Saan ba yung taong yan? So, habang may binibigay, kaibigan ka. So, every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? Kung yung mismo kapatid ng mga mahihirap, ayaw siya, how much more kung yung mga kaibigan niya na hindi niya blood relation? Ibig sabihin, nang mayaman siya, gusto nila sa kanya, pero naging mahirap na siya, of course, they would also despise him. Why? Because that friendship is based on money. He pursueth them with words, yet they are wanting to him. Makaawa siya dito, tulungan niya mo. Mas lalo silang lumalayo. Napakahirap palang mahirap. Ano? So this is certainly true. A man will have plenty of friends as long as he is giving out gifts. So if you want to add friends, just give out gifts. They despise or ignore him on account of his poverty. Ang mga mahihirap. So that's a wrong basis of friendship. This kind of a friendship would not last. Because kung mayaman ka, marami kang kaibigan, when you get broke, mahirap na silang hanapin. You would lose those friends because it's not based on love. It's based on what they can get from you. Now, another wrong basis for friendship is friendship based on sin. Proverbs 16:29 to 30. A violent man enticeth his neighbor and leadeth him into the way that is not good, to commit something wrong. He shutteth his eyes to devise forward things, moving his lips, he bringeth evil to pass. So ito yung mga friends sila because partners in crime sila. So meron silang gagawin ng mga, kailangan mo ng tulong. Kasi pag-aatihan natin yung ginagawa natin eh. Mapapatid, hati kapatid. Talagang friends sila kasi partners in crime sila eh. So friendship that are based on money or sin are destined to be disappointing. It's a shaky foundation. So why do we need to choose our friends? Okay. Ang pagkaibigan, pinipili yan, di ba? Okay. Now why do we need to choose? Sabi sa Proverbs 13 verse 20, he that walketh with the wise shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. Ang ibig sabihin, the people we get along with, in one way or another, they influence us. Ang sabi rito, if you are along with the wise, you will be wise. Pero kung makasama mo mga mangmang, meron ka na rin. Madadamay ka sa kanilang kamangmangan. And of course, when we say wise here, kaya na sinabi ko sa inyo last Friday, we are not talking about, when we talk about wisdom, this has nothing to do with mental. We are talking about biblical wisdom. So, hindi ito about IQ, mataas ang pinag-aralan mo, or yung IQ mo ay above average or excellent. No, it's nothing to do with that. Because we are talking here about moral wisdom. That's a biblical wisdom. Okay. So if we are with wise people, okay, we will be wise because our wisdom will increase. So we don't want to be with the fool. Why? Because we would act like the fools pagkat ayun ang ating mga kaibigan. So, ibig sabihin na pinipili natin ang ating mga kaibigan because they would have an impact in our lives. So, kung tayo pipili ng kaibigan, anong mga kaibigan ang iiwasan natin? O tao ang iiwasan natin? So, people not to make friends with. So, let's read some from the book of Proverbs. So, people who have bad tempers. Ang sabi sa Proverbs 22, 24 to 25, make no friendship with an angry man, and with a furious man, a hot-tempered man, thou shalt not go, lest thou learn his ways, and get a snare to thy soul. Kung gusto mong mapayapang buhay, huwag ka makikipagkaibigan sa mainitin ng ulo. Di ba? Eh siya lagi mong kasama kasi mainit ng ulo, madadamay ka. Mamaya, mainit na rin ang ulo mo. Bunting bagay, umiinit na yung ulo mo, mapapaaway ka, napahamak ka. Diba? So make no friendship with an angry man and with a furious man that shall not, thou shalt not go. So, why? For there can be no lasting peace and pleasure in such man's company and conversation. Ang mahirap niyan kung ikaw pa maging object ng kanyang anger, no? ikaw pa sa init na ulo niya, ikaw pang sasabunin niya. Ang mahirap, di ba? So napaganda yung kaibigan na mayroong pagtitimpi, mayroong patience. Wala lang yung mga kapatid, lahat tayo mayroong kahinaan, di ba? So if we have friends, one quality, we should be tolerant. Because all of us, we have weaknesses. Nagkakamali tayo. But a true friend would love you in spite of your weaknesses. Another person to avoid. Proverbs 14 verse 7, go from the presence of a foolish man, when thou perceivest not in him the lips of knowledge. In other words, stay away from fools, for you won't find knowledge on their lips. So as elect of God, we are wise, ano? So don't stay away from one another. So these are the people that we want to avoid. Kaya ang binasa natin kanina, he that walketh with wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. And another person that we don't want to make friends with are the people who rebel against authority. Ang sabi sa Proverbs 24 verse 21, my son, fear thou the Lord and the King. Takot ka sa Diyos at sa hari, o sa ruler. Okay. And meddle not with them that are given to change. Sa ibang translation, ang pagkakasabi diyan, don't associate with rebels. If you associate with rebels, you will be in trouble. Tama ba? Tingnan nyo na nagrebelta si Korah, Dathan, Abiram. Meron silang na-recruit ng 250 princes, mga leaders of the community of Israel. At nagrebelde sila. Anong nangyari? Nadami sila. Yung kanilang mga nakumbinse. Na nagsalita si Moses, who is on the Lord's side. Kasi hahatulin na sila ng Panginoon. Kung kayo, itong mga Korah, Dathan, Abiram, kung sila mamatay ng ordinaryong kamatayan, hindi nga ako sinubo ng Panginoon. Ano nangyari? Bumuka yung lupa. Ang sabi doon, sina Korah, Dathan, Abiram, yung kanilang household at kanilang mga followers nilamon ng lupa. Nadamay sila. Why? Because they sided with the rebels. At anong nangyari doon sa 250 princes? Nagpababa pa ng apoy, tinupok sila. And after that event, nakita natin the Lord was on the side of Moses. After that event, hindi pa rin nadala yung Israel. Dahil kinabukasan, nagko-complain sila. Sabi na kay Moses, you have killed the men of God. Di mas talo na galit na naman ng Panginoon. Bumaba siya. Sabi niya kay Moses, tumabi ka para patayin ko na silang lahat. At nakita ni Moses na galit ng Panginoon. Kaya sabi niya kay Aaron, kunin mo yung incense mo. Paano ka kasi? The Lord has come to destroy them. Kaya si Aaron, kinuha niya yung kanyang incense na ano siya, to stop the plague. Pero more than 14,000 ang namatay. Kung hindi lang ginawa yun, they were wiped out. Why? Because they sided with the rebels. The same thing, ano? Okay, we must always side, okay, with the authority that God has placed. Napakahirap kalabanin ng Diyos. Kung merong kudita sa church, don't side with the rebels. Yeah? Pagkat when the Lord would make separation, He would side with the leader He set on the church. So that's one thing. Another type of person that we don't want to make friends with are the people who are dishonest and wicked. Kung dishonest yan, pati kang lulukuhin na rin, di ba? So Proverbs 29 verse 27, an unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is abomination to the wicked. Ang pagkakasabi sa New Living Translation, the righteous despise the unjust, the wicked despise the godly. So the righteous despise the unjust, not his person, but his actions. His unrighteous actions, his ungodly life, which a man wholly just and good abhors. Kaya he shuns his company, and he will have no fellowship with him. Kaya mahirap maging kaibigan mga wicked, no? Mga loko-loko. At sabi rin diyan, the wicked despise the godly. Alam niyo kung bakit? Pati yung wicked, ayaw niya rin ng godly na kasama eh. Why? Because a godly man is abhorred by the wicked because he cannot have pleasure in his company. Pero yung mo kung isang wicked kasama ng godly, sabi niya, natin gagawin yan. Karma tayo. Maiinis na yung wicked. Hindi niya magkain gusto niya. Di ba marami laging nire-rebuke siya. O sinasaway siya. So maging wicked, ayaw niya ng ungodly. Ayaw ng godly. So, the same thing with us. We have to choose our friends. Kaya nga sabi sa Psalm chapter 1 verses 1 to 2, Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. So these are the people na iniwasan natin, the ungodly, the sinners, and the scornful, the mockers. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law that he meditates day and night. It's always good to make friends with believers. Amen. Kasi kahit tayo na-convert na, di ba? Kung makasama natin muli mga dati nating mga barkada, hindi na rin tayo komportable. Di ba? Kasi dati, inayaya tayo sa disco, sama tayo, inuman, sige. Pero ngayon, pati sila, hindi na rin komportable kung nandun tayo eh. Di ba? Because we have different appetite. When we were born again, the things I used to do, sabi nga ng awit, I don't do them no more. So the qualities of true friendship. Okay? A true friend loves at all times. Sabi sa Bible, Proverbs 17:17, a friend loveth at all times. Now, true love will produce loyalty. So a true faithful friend loves in times of adversity as well as in times of prosperity. At all times. In the good times, in the bad times, that person will be your friend. Kaya nga pinagtininan natin kanina, mayroong mga friendship na ang basis nila is on money. Kaya pag mahirap ka na, iwanan ka na eh. But a true faithful friend, tutukoy natin dito, okay, that person would love you at all times. At all times. Parang ship yan eh. Pag sa ship, okay, you would see people, okay, going on the ship and off the ship. When kapag ang sailing ay smooth, makakasama mo sila, pero pag may problema, nawawala na sila. Okay. Those are fair weather friends. Maging si Job, alam natin yung nangyari sa kanya, mayaman siya, kaya maraming kaibigan si Job. Kaya nga sabi sa Bible, wealth maketh friends, di ba? Maraming kaibigan si Job. Marami lagi siyang bisita, maraming gusto siyang makasama, mayaman siya. Pero ano nangyari, kinuha ng Panginoon yung anak niya. Kinuha ng Panginoon yung property niya, yung yaman niya. Ano di ba sinabi ni Job? Tingnan natin sa Job. Job chapter 19 verse 14. Job 19 verse 14. My kinsfolk have failed, and my familiar friends have forgotten me. Do you imagine that? Ang dami niyang kaibigan, mayaman pa siya, pero nawala lahat sa kanya. And he was in his lowest time. Ang sabi niya, my friends have forgotten me. Dati lagi sila bumibisita. Ngayon, hindi ko na sila makita. Pati mga kinsfolk, mayroon pa rin pati mga kamag-anak na, ayaw na sa kanya. They have failed. So it is very rare thing to find a friend that is constant lover. Itong friend na binabanggit dito sa Proverbs 17:17, this is the kind of friend that is hard to find. A true lover, a constant lover. At sabi dyan, and a brother is born for adversity. Ito yung din mga brother, no?
They are born for that purpose. In times of adversity, mayroong susuporta sa iyo, makikipaglaban para sa iyo. Di ba? So, if you're a brother, that's your purpose, di ba? To sympathize with your brother in distress, to relieve him, to support him. Kaya kung you are in distress, pagkatapos wala yung brother mo, sabi mo, do you know why you are born? You are born for such a time like this. You are born for a purpose. The brother is born for adversity, but a true friend love it at all times. Yung isa ng kapatid lang ay they are forced to love in times of your need, di ba? Pero yung friend, iba siya. Because that friend would love at all times. Now, Proverbs 18 verse 24. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. I like that. So friendship ought to be mutual and reciprocal. A man that receives friendship ought to return it, or otherwise he is guilty of ingratitude. Hindi lang ikaw yung tumatanggap or na nagbe-benefit in that friendship. No, it must be mutual and reciprocal. So, a man that hath friends must show himself friendly. And there is a friend that is sticketh closer than a brother. What a friend we have in Jesus.
Amen.
This is the kind of friend Jesus is to us. Okay. But we could have this kind of friend. Sabi ko, there is a friend that is sticketh closer than a brother. You know, sometimes our friends do more to us in an emergency than our relatives do. I'm speaking about true friend. Kung minsan yung mga kamag-anak mo, mas mahirap pang lapitan eh. Pag nangangailangan, emergency. Pero kung meron kang matalik na kaibigan, mas madali mo silang lapitan. Look at that. Hindi ka blood related sa kanila, but you have developed this relationship with them that in times of need, mas madali silang malapitan. Kaya, ikaw, pag lumapit ka sa kapatid mo, baka pagalitan ka muna bago ka bigyan eh. So, this is a kind of friendship that is taken closer than a brother. Ito yung klaseng relationship ni David at Jonathan. So, by the way, this loyalty ought to extend to our parents' friends. Tingnan natin ang sinabi dito sa Proverbs 27 verse 10. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. So if you have a friend, don't forsake your friend, especially in times of need. At ano bang sabi diyan? And thy father's friend. Yung kaibigan ng iyong tatay. Na bakit sinabi yan? Alam niyo kung bakit? Kasi in one way or another, kahit ikaw'y anak, yung friendship ng iyong tatay sa kanyang kaibigan, nagbe-benefit ka rin doon. Nakuha natin? The friendship of David and Jonathan, nag-benefit si Mephibosheth, di ba? Because of that friendship. Kaya maging yung kaibigan ng tatay mo, mahalin mo. Di ba? Kasi sa mga panahon na nangailangan yung tatay nyo, o wala siyang maibigay sa kanyang pamilya, nilapitan niya itong kaibigan na ito. So, hindi mo lang mamahalin yung kaibigan mo, or huwag mo lang ma-forsake yung kaibigan, maging yung kaibigan ng tatay mo. Long-time family friends can be a blessing from one generation to next. Kaya nga si Solomon, he valued his father's friend Hiram and keep up friendship with him. Why? Because siya nagsabi niya. Okay? So, thy own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. At sabi dito, neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. Pagdating in the day of calamity, huwag ka na pumunta sa bahay ng kapatid mo. For better is a neighbor. Yung tukoy na neighbor dito is a neighbor friend. A neighbor that is your friend, a faithful friend. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother far off. Now, we are not just speaking here about distance, but as to affection. If this neighbor is near to you, as to affection, Mas mabuti pa yan, ayan ang lapitan mo kaysa yung kapatid mo in times of calamity. Sometimes, we realize this, Why? Pagka that is a true friend. Now, another quality of true friendship, know how to keep a confidence. Proverbs 25:9-10. Debate thy cause with thy neighbor himself, and discover not or reveal not a secret to another, lest he that heareth it put thee to shame, and thine infamy turn not away. If you have a disagreement with somebody, don't bring another person into a discussion by betraying confidence. Why? Because you'll end up losing both your reputation and your friend who trusted you with his private thoughts. Diba? Mayroon mga sikreto na binabanggit sa ating kaibigan that he will never tell anybody else. Diba? And that is confidential. At kung minsan nakikipag-argo kasi ibang tao, katapos mamaya, wala naman yung, bigla mo na ipapasok, sinasabi mo yung mga bagay na sinabi sa'yo ng sikreto. At sabi ito yung nakarinig sa'yo, ay, kumbaga sira na ang pangalan mo sa nakarinig sa'yo, pagkat sabi itong taong ito, you could not trust this person with secrets. Could you imagine? Binanggit niya yung sikreto nila ng magkakaibigan, sikreto ng kanyang kaibigan. So, a true friend knows how to keep confidence. Ang sabi ko dito sa Proverbs 11:13, a tale-bearer, that is a gossiper, mahilig sa chismis. A tale-bearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit, that is a true friend, concealeth the matter. Marunong siya magtago. Kasi kung meron ka kaibigan, kaibigan, pagkatapos, dito, may kwenta ko sa'yo. Merong secret na sinabi sa akin sa so-and-so. Tapos, ano yun? Sige. Pero sabi niyo, huwag mo sabihin. Pero sasabihin mo. Oh, sige lang, di ko sasabihin na sinabi mo. Now, anong mangyayari yan? Now, if that's the kind of person, ikikwento niya, ganun din ang gagawin niya sa'yo. Kasi kung nagsabi ka rin ng sikreto mo sa kanya, ganun din sasabihin niya kasi chismosa ito eh. O chismosa, di ba? Sabi niya, alam mo, may sinabi sa akin siya, pero secret lang ito eh. Sabihin mo na, hindi. Sabihin ko, tingnan sa nga sa'yo, pero kung mo sasabihin ha, sige, secret ulit eh. So, a tale-bearer revealeth secrets, but he that is a faithful spirit, that is of a faithful spirit, concealeth the matter. Marunong siya magtago. Alam mo bakit? Kasi may mga bagay na hindi na dapat sabihin. Especially if your friend is at his weakest point. May mga i-reveal yan sa'yo na kumisan hindi niya pa nga nasabi sa kanyang mga magulang o kapatid. Na very confidential, di ba? At dahil kay kanyang pinagkakatiwalaan, binanggit na yun sa'yo. He has kept that secret for years. Sa inyo lamang sinabi. Pagkatapos ikaw, mahilig ka magkwento, alam na ng lahat. Pero secret lang ha. Naging sekreto ulit yung sekreto. Now of course, we are just, we are, extracting wisdom from this, you know why? Para maging mabuting kaibigan din tayo. So we are also learning from here, because we want to be a true friend. So kung may mga qualities na wala pa tayo dito, of course, we have to take these qualities. Proverbs 20:19. He that goeth about as a tale-bearer revealeth the secrets. Ayan naman ang gustong gawin ng mga chismosa, di ba? Mag-reveal ng secret. Kaya pagdatingin na, anong bago? Dito, may bagong kwento. Sikreto lang ha. Sabi ito, therefore meddle not with him that flattereth with his lips. So that's one thing that we should have, you know, if we want to be a good friend to someone else. Why? Because if we aren't careful, gossip can ruin friendship. Tingnan niyo dito sa Proverbs 16, verse 28. A froward man soweth strife, and a whisperer, ano yan? Yung mga chismosa, gossiper. And a whisperer separateth chief friends. Hindi lang friends, ano, pati chief friends. Kaya ingat-ingat lang sa chismis, ano? Because it could even separate chief friends. So gossip can ruin friendship. So the wise thing to do is to cover offenses with love. Especially, for example, nagkamali siya sa'yo, na nagawa siyang hindi maganda. Pagkatapos ayun ay napag-usapan niyo na, natawag mo siya, inamin niya ng kanyang mali. So, huwag mo lang ipikwento yun sa iba. Diba? Because, magalis sa'yo. Grabe ka naman, chinismis mo pa yun. Ano ba yun? Tahigit ko na yung bibig ko eh. Yung problema ko sa'yo eh. Ganda na sana kakaibigan natin. Kaya lang, problema ko yung bibig ko eh. Proverbs 17 verse 9. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that repeateth a matter separateth very friends. May nagawa siya sa'yo na hindi maganda. Okay, napag-usapan niyo na, naayos mo na. Huwag mo nang ikwento sa iba o ulit-ulitin mo, ibalik mo ulit kasi binawa mo na yun eh. Baka nasa maya. Di ba yung ginawa mo sa akin noon? Ay, napag-usapan mo. Ang sabi dito, kung lagi mong inuulit yung pangyayari, it would separate you with your friend or from your friend. Okay. So once it's, okay, ibaw na natin sa limot, ano? O ibaw na natin sa lupa. So, why? Because you are treasuring your friendship, ano? You don't want to damage your friendship. Kaya yung pati yung mali na nagawa niya sa'yo, hindi mo na ikinikwento sa iba. Why? Because you treasure your friendship. You are covering, you're covering the transgression because you seek at love. Kahit sa mag-asawa, di ba, kung paulit-ulit na sinasabi yung pagkakamali mo, di ba, minsan, it breaks the relationship, di ba? And kaya ang Panginoon, sabi niya, I will remember your transgression no more. Ang Panginoon, kapag nagpatawad siya, kinalimutan niya na yan. Ganyan Panginoon patawad. Kaya nga sabi sa 1 Peter 4 verse 8, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. So this leads to the next important quality for true friends and good neighbors, which is the ability to control the tongue. Ito ang pinakamahirap i-control, ano? Basahin niyo ang book of James and you will learn more about how dangerous the tongue is. So the ability to control the tongue. Ang sabi sa Proverbs 11 verse 9, an hypocrite with his mouth destroyeth his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. So, an hypocrite with his mouth, ano pwedeng gawin ng bibig? It could destroy the neighbor. So, para safe, don't believe the first thing you hear about the matter, because it may be wrong. Put the benefit of the doubt. Huwag kagad maniniwala. Now, tingnan yung sabi ni Solomon dito sa Proverbs 18 verse 17. He that is first in his own cause sinneth just. Bawari mayroong kaibigan na nagsumbong sa'yo, may kaaway siya. Okay? Usually, yung unang nagsumbong ng pangyayari o talaga nangyari, parang siya ang tama, di ba? Kasi siya palang narinig mo eh. Oo nga, sige. Sige, wala mo. Babakakpan kita. Nasa side kita. Kamagala na. Pag makita mo yung towel, sige. Pagagalitan ko yan. Siya palang narinig mo, kaya nung pinakinggan mo siya, parang siya yung tama, parang okay siya, no? Because he that is first in his cause sinneth just. But his neighbor cometh and searcheth him. this is the best thing to do. I-search mo muna, pakinggan mo yung other side so you could balance things out. Tama? And that's also needed in counseling, ano? Eh, kung minsan, pag nakaka-counsel yung pastor, hindi ba, dinaan sa iyak eh. Eh, parang yung umiyak, siya yung nanalo. Hindi, di ba? So, you have to hear both sides. That's the safest thing to do. Proverbs 11 verse 12. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. He knows how to be quiet when it's needed to be. He has control over his tongue. Now, if your neighbor or friend speaks falsely of you, talk to him about it privately, but don't seek to avenge yourself by lying about him. Babawi nga ako dito. Sinabi mo yan sa akin, hindi naman totoo. Sige. Pag nakakwento mo si so-and-so, kwentuhan ko rin sila. Hindi rin totoo. Will just damage your relationship. Proverbs 24 verse 20. Be not a witness against thy neighbor without a cause, and deceive not with thy lips. We should never bear false witness against our neighbor. Gagawa-gawa ka ng kwento na hindi totoo. It should never be. Kahit ng Panginoon dyan. Proverbs 25 verse 18. A man that beareth false witness against his neighbor is a maul and a sword and a sharp arrow. So if you bear false witness against your neighbor, parang mo siyang hinampas ng sandata or an arrow or an axe. Are you catching that? So in other words, you're hurting the person. Another qualities of true friendship must be lovingly honest with one another. Proverbs 27 verse 6, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Pwede ka parang magsugatan ng kaibigan mo. Now, a friend who really loves you will wound you if it's necessary. That is, he will tell you the truth and would give hypocritical kisses when he needs to do a little spiritual surgery on you. Why? Because flattery is not true friendship. A true friend cares enough to confront you, to tell you the truth. Now, true friendship in the Lord can be built on deception. Even if the truth hurts, sasabihin mo sa iyong kaibigan. And even if the truth hurts, it can never harm if it's given in love. Kaya sabi sa Bible that we have to speak the truth in love. Because the Spirit can use truth and love to build character, while the devil uses lies and flattery to tear things down. Mabuti na yung sinabi mo yung totoo, di ba? Kaysa naman mabulahin mo. Biglang dumating yung kaibigan mo, sabi ng kaibigan mo, ako, mayroong singing contest doon sa school. Sasama ako. Apa, maganda yan ah, sumama ka. Baka manalo ka dun eh. Eh, alam mo yung kaibigan mo, sinturado talaga, hindi niya alam. Ang pangit umawit. Pinapahamak ko yung kaibigan mo. Magtatawanan siya. So, mo sa kanya, alam mo, marami kang talent eh. Huwag lang niya lang pasukan mo. Isipan na yan. Parang Sandra ko, minsan nawawit ako, pinibiro niya ako. Sabi niya, Han, huwag ka nang umawit, mananang ka na lang, sabi niya. Diba? Ikaw minsan, nagkatotohanan kasi it hurts sometimes, diba? Pero mabuti na yung sinabi mo. Diba? Because that's a true friend. Minsan, nakatuwa na yung kaibigan mo, diba? Mga iba, binubola lang, mga iba masaktan, bulahin na lang. At tapos, mag-join ka doon, baka makuha ba yung yung conference eh. Sige, mag-join ka. At tapos, after ng contest, kumakatok sa bahay, umiiyak. Bakit? Naku, binidyo ko, tapos pinisap yung YouTube, daming bashers, grabe ba? Meron ginawa ko sa friend mo, kung sinabi mo yung totoo, di ba? Because sometimes truth hurts. Diba? Pero sabi din, faithful are the wounds of a friend, but the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. Huwag tayo parang si Judas, meron siyang, he would give Jesus a kiss, pero traidor na halik. Proverbs 29 verse 5. A man that flattereth his neighbor is spreadeth a net for his feet. Kaya maingat tayo sa mga bulero, kung lagi nang pinaflatter ka. Kahit bagong kising ka sa umaga, madami pang muta, ang ganda. Sa mga tawang bulero, dapat sensitive tayo. Thank you. Hindi ka na-raise mo, baka binubula ka lang, verse 23, Proverbs 28, verse 23. He that rebuketh a man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with the tongue. Ito yan, diba? Afterwards. Kung nirebuke mo, sinabi mo yung mali na sa iyong kaibigan, afterwards, mas maganda yan kaysa binulang mo siya. Marilaya sa totoo ng kaibigan, di ba? Isa naman, ayaw mo sabihin, mali na pala, kaysa yung ibang tao ang sabi sa kanya, pagtawanan siya ng ibang tao. At sabi niya, salamat, sinabi mo na yung maganda yung boses ko. Hindi, sumama ko sa singing contest na yan. So, mas maganda lang i-review mo. Merong mali sa kanila, sabihin mo. But you say it with love. Because he is a friend. And even an enemy, of course. You have to love your enemy. Now, it has been well said that flattery is manipulation and not communication. What honest person would want to manipulate a friend? Of course, we don't want to do that. Another thing, qualities of a true friendship. The fifth one, they counsel and encourage each other. Proverbs 7 verse 9, ointment and perfume rejoiceth the heart. It makes you happy. So that the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. So the heartfelt counsel of a friend is as sweet as perfume and incense. So meron counsel. Yung advice niya, pag nagbigay siya ng advice, alam mo that he is so concerned kaya he will not give you a bad one. So, they counsel, at ano pa? Encourage you. Tingnan natin yung relationship ni David at Jonathan. Dito sa 1 Samuel chapter 23 verse 50 to 18. And David saw that Saul was come out to seek his life. Okay, so si David, he was hunted down by his friend's father, Jonathan. No? Si Saul, hinahanti na siya pagkat may inggit si Saul sa kanya. And David was in the wilderness of Ziph in a wood. Nagtatago siya. At sabi sa verse 16, and Jonathan, Saul's son, arose and went to David into the wood and strengthened his hand in God. This was the time that David needs encouragement. He is being hunted down by the highest authority in the land. Ang kalaban niya hari. Wala naman siyang ginawa, kaya lang naiingit si Saul sa kanya, nagsiselos, kasi nag-umpisa ito ng sinabi ng mga kababaihan, oh, Saul kill thousands, but David 10,000s. Ano ito? They only attributed thousands to me, kay David 10,000s. Ano pang susunod? But he would have that throne. And since that time, mainit ng ulo ni Saul kay David. And he sought to kill David. Pero makikita natin si Jonathan, Bakit tatay niya, hindi niya kinakampihan. At alam niya na natatago si Jonathan, hinanap, pinuntahan ni Jonathan. Anong purpose niya? Just to strengthen David. And he strengthened his hand in God. Verse 17, and he said unto him, fear not, for the hand of Saul my father will not find thee. Huwag ka mag-alala, hindi ka makikita ng ama ko. Pati siya hindi sasabihin. Pagkat this is a faithful friend, hindi niya tatraidor si David. At sabi niya, and thou shalt be king over Israel, and I shall be next to thee. Alam dapat ni Jonathan na sana siya ang susunod na hari on the throne. Pero nakikita niya, there's something about David. God has used him in many ways. Supernatural ways. Kaya alam niya, this is the appropriate king for Israel. Hindi niya sinakaluyan ng kanyang tatay para mamatay si David at siya sumunod na hari. No. Sabi niya, huwag kang matakot, hindi ka mahanap ni daddy. At sabi niya, ikaw ang susunod na hari, ako lang next to you. At sabi niya, and that also Saul, my father, knoweth. Kaya takot din si Saul sa'yo, alam niya na ikaw ang susunod na hari. This is the kind of friendship meron si Jonathan kay David. In such a time of need, nandun siya. Kaya isang tunay na kaibigan, for example, if you're in a time of need, tinawag mo siya kahit wala sa oras, sabi gawin natin 3 a.m. in the morning. Pagkatapos sinagot mo, katapos, ang sabi ng kaibigan mo, may problema ako, malaking problema ako. At kapag sinabi niya kung meron mo siyang problema, hindi na yan magdadalawang isip kung pupuntahan ka niya o hindi. Sabi, nasaan ka ngayon pupunta ako? Ayun ang tunay na kaibigan, di ba? This is the kind of friend Jonathan has to David. At sabi dito sa verse 18, and they two made a covenant. So they renewed their covenant of friendship before the Lord. And David abode in the wood, and Jonathan went to his house. And David moved from one place to another. This was the last time Jonathan saw David. Kaya masakit kay David na namatay si Jonathan. Kaya umiiyak siya na nanangis siya because of the kind of friendship they have for one for another. Proverbs 27 verse 17. Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend. In other words, a true friend sharpens. Di ba? If you sharpen an iron, you use another iron. Di ba? Ay mga blacksmith, they hammer the iron para to sharpen it. Or you, gusto mong patalamin yung kutsilo, huwag ka na isang kutsilo, di ba? So, iron sharpeneth iron, so a true friend sharpens. In other words, he will make you sharper and a better person. That's a true friend. You will receive counsel and wisdom from that friend. A true friendship will put an edge on your life, but false friend dull your life, blunt your influence, and drag you down. So one of the true tests of friendship is asking yourself, am I a better person for having known this person? Because sabi dito, a true friend sharpens. So they counsel and encourage each other. Next one. We're about to end. I think this will be the last one. The 6th. Tactful and sensitive to each other's feelings. Nakatawa ko ito sa Proverbs na ito. Tingnan nyo. Proverbs 25 verse 17. Sabi niya, withdraw thy foot from thy neighbor's house, lest he be weary of thee, and so hate thee. Sa New Living Translation, ito pagkasabi, don't visit your neighbors too often, or you will wear out your welcome. Amen? So if we spend too much time together, we may wear out our welcome. Now, people who spend too much time with each other eventually destroy their friendship. If we are going to grow, we need space, diba? A space comes from privacy and solitude. Also, kailangan natandaan mo that you are not the only person in your friend's life. Pero huwag mo namang araw-arawin. Mamaya, iiwasan ka na yan. Okay? You are not the only person in your friend's life. He also needs to spend time with others. Kaya nga, possessiveness is one thing that destroys relationship, di ba? Gusto mo lang, sa'yo lang, And then, it may destroy your relationship. Give him some space. Or give her some space. So, bis na tayo, pero huwag madalas, ano? Proverbs 27, verse 14. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, it shall be counted a curse to him. Binasa ko yan ng ilang beses kung ibig sabihin. Ibig sabihin. He that blesseth his friend with a loud voice, rising early in the morning, pagising niya, it shall be counted a curse to him. He was saying, watch out for the man who is praising you more than you ought to be praised. For you know that there is motive behind it all. Kung masyado nang pinipraise ka ng tao, sobra-sobra na. Baka may gusto ito, may kailangan ito. Ang ganang halimbawa ito si Absalom eh. Alam si Absalom, he would rise up early in the morning and he would sit or go to the gate of the city para yung mga tao na pupunta sa kanyang papa para ma-resolve ang kanilang case o meron silang enmity or alitan sa iba ay madinig. Ang ginagawa ni Absalom, nandun siya, i-greet niya na yung mga tao. Pagkatapos, kapag nasabi, oh, alam mo, maganda yung kaso. Ako lang sana mag-judge niya. Grabe, malakas siya ba? Magandang laban mo, pagtatanggol kita. At kapag yung mga tao ay dumadating kay Absalom, at katapos yumuko sila, kasi anak ng hari, kinuha niya sa kamay, huwag ka nang yuyuko, katapos nakalikan niya yung kamay. At katapos ipa-flatter niya sila. Bakit niya ginagawa yun? Meron siyang motive behind. He want to steal the hearts of the people because he wanted to take the throne of his father. Do you see that? So, love is sensitive to other people's feelings and needs. And true friends try to say the right thing at the right time in the right way. So let's be sensitive. Kung busy yung mga kaibigan mo, huwag mo naman laging dinadala o hindi na wala na siyang magawa. Let's be sensitive. Okay. Proverbs 25 verse 20. As he that taketh away a garment in cold weather, and as vinegar upon the night air, so is he that singeth songs to an heavy heart. Yung tutukoy na song dito, joyful songs. If your friend is depressed with a heavy heart, don't sing joyful songs. Kasi para yung isang tao sa panahon ng winter na kinuhanan mo ng balabal. Hindi ginawin niya. Hindi maganda para sa kanya. Depressed siya eh. You cry with him, you sympathize or empathize with the person, di ba? Hindi ang lungkot-lungkot niya with a heavy heart. Paano pa niya masasabayan sa masaya mong awit? Kung ikaw ay masaya, tumalon ka. Kung ikaw ay masaya, mabigat nga yung damdamin. Ngumiti ka. Mas talong magagalit sa kanya mo pa rin. So, nag-ibig sabihin, when your friend cries, cry with him. Okay, sympathize with your friend. So be sensitive with your friend's feelings. Now, lastly, I'd like to quote from the prophet. This will be the last slide. From the message, lifting him up out of history, ang sabi niya, there's another thing that I would like to say. That is another thing running out. Another thing running out is friendship. Friendship is running out. It don't seem like that we have the friends that we used to have. And the friends that we have are not loyal friends like they used to be. Sabi ng prophet, nawawala na. Yung talagang tunay na kaibigan, loyal friend. Okay. I can remember when someone got sick in the neighborhood, that everybody come around and they help them with all their work. and lended a hand to anything could be done. Sat up with them all night at a time. And as I've often said, it's truth that we hardly know the neighbor's dead until we see it in the paper. Friendship. Friendship is running out. Malalaman mo lang, napatay na yung kapitbahay mo. Nakita mo na sa dyaryo. Balita mo na lang. Why? No communication. And this is what's lacking. So, bakit ko nadala ito? Because I'm showing you, mga kapatid, that one way to live a satisfying life is to build good friendship, relationship with others. You're created by God to be relational. We need one another. Tama, mga kapatid?
Amen.
So, let's, alam niyo, mga kapatid, it takes to build friendship. You don't build it overnight. But it takes time. You need something that could ruin relationship is busyness, diba? So let's find time to spend together, and to strengthen that relationship we have had. So we would end this series on human relationship. So ang gusto natin, we would have a happy family. We would like to have a good relationship with our children. And we would have good friendship with people. And nakita naman natin yung mga qualities of a true friendship, and we want to be that kind of friend. And as I was reading all these qualities of a friend, of a true and faithful friend in the book of Proverbs, I could remember that I could see that all these qualities ay nandun kay Jesus Christ. He's a kind of friend na kahit masakit kung katotohanan sa sabihin niya sa iyo, dahil mahal ka niya, He would correct you. He's faithful. Our friend loved it at all times. And that's the kind of friendship we have with Jesus Christ. Amen. He's a true friend. Sabi niya, there's no greater love than a man who will lay down his life for his friend. Even Jesus Christ talks about friendship. So we want to live a satisfying life. Okay, so let's build relationship. Let's build relationships. Purihin ang Panginoon. Tayo pala na yung mga ito. Natin siya. Tayo manalangin sa Panginoon. Lord Jesus, we thank you, Lord, for the wisdom, Lord, that we could get from your word. Lord, you want us to live happily with a fulfilling life, Panginoon Diyos. Lord, we may work hard and hard to have more possessions, Lord. But if we haven't built good relationship with others, Lord, meron pa rin kulang, Panginoon Diyos. Maging si Adam, Lord, you have put him in paradise after you have formed him. He was in a perfect place. He had all the things that he needed in life, Panginoon. Pero Panginoon, meron pa rin kalungkutan tumingin sa kanya. And we understand, Lord, the value of relationship. Kaya, Lord, anumang relationship namin sa iyo, we want to make it bigger, Lord. We want it to grow. And whatever relationship we have one for another, Lord, we want it to grow, Father. Make us a true friend like you, Lord. A friend that would love at all times, Panginoon. A friend that would not forsake our friends. Lord, we want to be that kind of friend, Panginoon. Who would always be there in times of need, Lord. That's always willing to extend a helping hand, Lord. Lord, make us good friends like you, Lord. Help us to build relationship, Panginoon. And Lord, may our relationship be always be based on love. Because, Lord, that this is the kind of relationship that would stand the test of time. Lord, it must be built on commitment, not on convenience, Lord. Kaya tulungan mo kami, Panginoon, na mahalin ang aming kapwa, mahalin ang aming kapatid, Lord, tulad ng pag-ibig mo sa amin. Help us, Father, Lord, to be a true kind of friend, Panginoon. Make us faithful friend, Panginoon Diyos. Maraming salamat, Lord. We thank you also, Lord, for this long friendship we have with you. Tunay nga, Panginoon, na hindi mo pinapabayaan. You're so concerned. Sometimes, Lord, even though it may hurt us, Lord, you still tell the right thing, Panginoon. Because, Lord, this is the right thing to do. You correct us in times we need correction, Lord. If we need spiritual surgery, Lord, you wound us, Lord. Pagkat, Lord, mahal mo kami, concerned ka sa amin, Panginoon, ayaw kami mapahamak, Panginoon. And you are a friend, Lord, that we could always pour our heart on. We will pour our secrets to you, Father. And whenever we come to you, Lord, we don't fear, Lord, that you will be judgmental over us. Because you really understood us. You know us. You know our framework, Father. You are familiar with our ways. And thank you, Lord, for this kind of friendship we have with you, Lord. And I know, Lord, that because of this friendship, Lord, your act of kindness, Lord, is even extended to our loved ones, Panginoon. Because, Lord, we are a friend of you. Just like Abraham, Father. Kaya maraming salamat, Panginoon. Make us a faithful friend. Help us build a relationship among the members of our family, among our brothers and sisters in this church. Lord, to the people, Lord, that are around us, Lord. May they feel the love, the genuine friendship coming from us, Father. Because as the prophet said, Lord, that this world is running out of true loyal friends. But we want to be loyal, Lord, because that's the kind of friend you are to us. Thank you so much, Father. And thank you once again for the wisdom you have given us. We want to give back all the glory and praises in your name, Jesus Christ.